Hi guys, welcome to my channel The Angel Witch Tarot. So this video is for the Cancers. Hi Cancers. So a little change of structure for the reading. I'm gonna do the Astro Dice in the end because it's for the overall energy of the week. So I'll do the cards first and then the Astro Dice. So the week in question here is the 16th of Feb to the 22nd of Feb 2026. Alright, so I'll start off with the intuitive oracle cards and then I'll move to the other cards and then lastly the Astro Dice. So let's see what intuitive messages the spirits want you to know regarding your intuition. We've got dream guidance. Dreams reveal deep intuitive messages. Unlock their meaning, says the spirits. And then we've got light of awareness. The light of awareness sharpens your intuition. So let's move on to the tarot. So let's see what the week is like for Cancers. So we've got the King of Wands in reverse. The Six of Cups in reverse. And the Ten of Wands upright. So the King of Wands in reverse is all about being impulsive, very impulsive, being ruthless, having high expectations, doing things in a hurry, and then setting expectations that are unachievable, right? And then we have the Six of Cups in reverse, which is saying that you are probably living in the past. You're probably being nostalgic. You're seeking independence. You're seeking forgiveness. Or someone is seeking forgiveness. Hi. You wanna come up? Hi. So, the Six of Cups talks about seeking forgiveness, living in the past, lacking playfulness. Moving forward towards everything. So you're probably going to be leaving home or seeking independence. Right? And then the Ten of Wands talks, since it's upright, it talks about burdens, extra responsibilities, hard work and completion, right? So the Ten of Wands, we've got a lot of two fire cards, so it's all about your passion, your action, your energy, your drive, right? So you're moving fast but not too fast. You're moving towards independence and you're probably leaving home. Your hard work pays off and comes to completion. But you're probably taking extra responsibilities and burdening yourself. Just 1 second. So let's get clarification for these cards. So we've got the Lovers in reverse and the Seven of Wands upright. And lastly we've got the Empress upright. Let's get the overall clarification after we read these 3 cards. So the Lovers in reverse is all about finding self-love, but having that disharmony and imbalance, the misalignment of your values. You're probably suffering or detaching from people or yourself, and then being obedient. There's conflicts, making bad choices due to indecision and fear of commitment. And then the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands upright talks all about challenges, competition, protection, perseverance, defense, and maintaining that control within yourself, to yourself and by yourself. And then we've got the Empress upright. So the Empress upright talks about abundance, nurturing energy, fertility, feminine energy, being good at parenting, having that development, improvement, development, accomplishment, growth, evolution, and action. Right? And then we've got the Page of Wands in reverse, which talks about lacking direction, procrastinating, creating conflicts, self-limiting beliefs, the spiritual path, or newly formed ideas. And then we've got the Ace of Pentacles upright. So the Ace of Pentacles upright is again all about abundance, your manifestation, your opportunities, new careers or financial opportunities, new venture and path towards prosperity, right? So that is the tarot. Please don't mind the barking. He's found someone outside the door, I guess. So anyway, we've got the Romance and Love Oracle cards. Like I've been saying in all my videos, this Oracle card, I don't specifically read it for romantic relationships. I also read it for friendships, familiar relationships, co-workers, neighbors, pets. It actually depends on the cards that we get and the astro dice for the overall energy of the week, right? So we've got divine timing. Divine timing. It says trust in divine timing. Love arrives when it's meant to. Right? And then we've got right path. It says love is a beautiful journey and you're on the right path. Fluffy! Alright, so let's move on to the Shadow Love Oracle cards, which talks about the hidden part of the heart. Something that someone's hiding to not hurt you or to overburden you, because, you know, we've already got a lot of burden, self-love, disharmony and everything. Just 1 minute. So let's move on to the hidden part of the heart. You might want to think of someone that you want to know about, so that you know what they're trying to hide, so that they don't overburden you or something, right? So let's move on to the Shadow Love Oracle cards, because it's talking about the shadows of the heart. All talk. Silver-tongued devil, big flirt, no action, and a player. This person is probably a player and just all talk probably. And then been burned. This person has probably been burned, been hurt, traumatized in the past before. So they're afraid to love someone again due to the unhealed trauma, and they run away. Right? So let's move on to the Beast Soul Oracle cards. and see what insight, messages or spells we have from the spirit animals to guide you throughout the week. Okay, so we've got 3 cards here. So the 3 cards, the first one is the busy hummingbird, swiftness, excitement and cheerfulness. And then we've got the benevolent elephant, all about gentleness, temperance and goodwill. And then we've got the patient turtle, all about endurance, commitment and serenity, right? So the busy hummingbird says to take a break, discover and enjoy the sweetness of life. The benevolent elephant talks about is a energy card. So this one you'll have to recite the spell. So it says, pillar of patience and kindness, bless my heart with your gentle nature. Right? So I hope you can read it. So then we've got the patient turtle. It says to strengthen your connection to the earth. Strengthen your connection to the earth, it says. So let's move on to the astro dice and see the overall energy of the week. First house, Aquarius, Moon. So the moon is all about your unconsciousness, your personal needs, your emotions, your receptiveness, your reflection, your instincts, moods, habits, the inner child or the inner mother. And then it talks about the instincts, right? The security, the feminine figures, the nurturing energy, the nourishment that this energy gives you. And then it talks about probably an interest in cooking or baking. It talks about your intuition, the home and privacy. And then we've got Aquarius. And Aquarius is all about being progressive, being innovative, being futuristic, intelligent, altruistic, friendly, reformative, emotionally detached, scattered energy, impersonal, being quirky, unorthodox, humanitarian energy, friendships. Then we've got future oriented, technology, inventions, the science, logicality, social media and ambitious. And then the first house is all about yourself. So the first house is about self, your personal life, your appearance, your independence, the individuality, the new beginnings, the body, the first impressions that people have of you, the first impressions you have of others. Then we have the attitude, identity, approach to life, and how you view the world, right? So that it's mostly about yourself. You're gonna get abundance. You're gonna be quite intuitive, but do not overburden yourself. Do not take extra responsibility, because you yourself need some rest. And your dreams will guide you with intuitive messages, and then your light of awareness sharpens your intuition. Your awareness, the positive awareness that you have, is going to sharpen your intuition. We have a lot of intuition here. You're going to be seeking independence now this week, right? So this is the end of the video for Cancers. So I'll see you in the next video, right? Bye.